Welcome to Dodgers Dogs. As part of the Dodgers Daily Network, Casey Porter here. Been a minute since I've been joined by Coach Barrakoff. Coach, you've got a new job. You got the new digs behind you. You're in Portland, Oregon. You got all these West Coast players coming in. You're getting ready to win a natty, maybe 2 or 3. I'm getting a little bit excited here, but hey, that's okay because we just beat the Giants and the Padres back-to-back, right? It's okay to be excited.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you can beat those guys 4 out of 6, I mean, that's what you want to do, right? You want to win 2 out of 3 every series, and the Dodgers did that, and it was what a great ending to the weekend.
100%. So Dustin May got the start today. Yoshinobu Yamamoto was disappointing yesterday. Clayton Kershaw was absolutely King Kershaw last night. You kind of figured he would be, knowing he needed to be the stopper Saturday night in the big town, that kind of thing. He ends 12 strikeouts away from the record. And then that brings us to tonight. Dustin May, kind of the full Dustin May experience. I mean, it was like you're riding a bull there for a while, and then he would make the right pitch, and then 2 times he had the bases loaded. I have no idea how to evaluate what I saw.
Well, you know, it's funny. While the game was going, I was following social media, which probably is a no-no, but you know, you get half of the fan base saying we should trade Dustin May, and then the other half says we love him. And you know what? He was solid today. He gave the Dodgers a chance, and you know what? I'm excited to see him out on the mound. I like what he's doing. I don't know if we're going to get. You know, I think it's tough coming back from these injuries, right? I mean, it's not easy, and I think as fans, we expect these guys just to bounce back, jump on the mound, and be 100%. And I know he's had quite a few starts now into the season, but I think it's still going to take time. And I'm going to be patient. I'm a big time patient Dodger fan, and I like what I saw. He battled and he was competitive, and then it was great. Obviously, I know we're going to get to this, but our guy Pages seals the deal, right?
We'll get to him here. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And Casey, now it's funny. Everybody's talking like he should be an all-star.
Yeah, right.
And what was it? A couple of months ago, you and I were having to defend the guy. So
yeah, we were. Yeah. Yeah. So before we get to Pages, because he's been your boy the entire time, I'm giving that one all the way up to you. Hey, I am not afraid to take credit whenever I have credit coming my way, right? That's just how we're hardwired. I am passing that credit all to Coach Barrakoff. You've been on that dude forever. Austin, too. Austin's loved that guy. But before, let me back up. This is kind of my coach's geek thing. After the Friday night game, I said it on the Saturday show. Dave Roberts took the podium, and he made no excuses. He held every single player accountable, including Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He set a tone with this tone of voice like, this ain't good enough. We're the Dodgers. I don't care what happens with the umpire. I don't care about the 6th. I don't care what's happening. This isn't good enough. We have to find ways to win games. I go back to the way that he handled that press conference after the terrible Friday game to kind of wake this team back up.
Yeah, you know, it's been great to listen to you and Tony and Austin. You guys have been doing God's work is what you guys have been doing, talking about Dodger baseball, and I've been loving following it. Dave Roberts said what he needed to say. I mean, again, if the Dodgers win 2 out of 3 every series, they're going to win the whole doggone thing, right? They're going to be world champions. I think our level of expectation, and I think Dave was kind of talking to it, is we expect them to come in and sweep these guys, right? And not look the way we look. Sometimes, and I've said this for a long time, sometimes the Dodgers look like uninterested. If that's the right word? They look uninterested sometimes in these series until like, oh, you know, we lost one. We better knock the next 2 out. And then, you know, they score 11, and then they do what they did tonight. Pages hits the home run. But I love what Dave did. I mean, that's why he's the best manager in baseball. Motivation without having to motivate. It's you know, the players listen to what the manager's saying.
They do.
I know he does a press conference every single day, but the players hear that stuff. They're not oblivious to what's going on. And when Dave said what he said, I think it rallied them and got them back focused.
I definitely think so, too, because he spoke to the big picture. You know, he talked about, hey, we've done the best job that we possibly can to protect all you dudes, that we can't do anything more to protect your arms. So when we give you the damn ball, take the damn ball. I mean, that's literally the tone that and he's usually not that, you know, he's more of a player's guy. He tries to beat around those kinds of bushes. So the urgency from that perspective, and then he also said, you know, you just got to take the ball. So I just thought the urgency that he set forth for this team was fantastic. So let's back up to yesterday. Clayton Kershaw, I've said it, you and I, we have sat in the press box. We've talked several different times. Everybody's going, he needs to hit 92. And I'm like, what's 92 going to do? That I mean, if you're going to talk about velo, it needs to be 95, not 92. So what he needs actually is pinpoint location and more movement. And if you are the old school guy that likes the Greg Maddux type, where you're out foxing the hitter, you're out executing, last night was your deal. Clayton Kershaw showed why he's a Hall of Famer again.
Yeah, Case, you hit it perfectly. You and I sat in the press box and we watched this guy and we said, okay, we're excited to watch him come back to the Dodgers. What you're seeing from Clayton Kershaw is why he is. I hesitate because I love Drysdale and Koufax and these guys, but the greatest Dodger pitcher ever. His fastball's topping out at 92, but it's the way he's throwing it. His curveball is at 70, whatever it is. This guy is thinking baseball. I mean, you're watching old school baseball right now, where he's not having to throw it, pump it in there at 99 to 97 every single time. He's thinking the play. He's thinking every pitch. Location, and then he hits him with 92. When you're changing speeds like that, that's awfully difficult as a hitter in Major League Baseball. And what he's doing, I think, is nothing short of amazing. I mean, we're seeing some of the best Clayton Kershaw we've seen in a long time, and I'm excited. I love when he goes to the mound because you're seeing a thinking man's game, a thinking man's pitching right now. And that's what's missing in baseball nowadays.
I'm going to say it for him. I think he would say this out loud. I don't think he would say it till it's over. But I think he enjoyed the World Series last year, but I think there's a certain part of that experience that kind of pissed him off. Like, I really wasn't even a part of this. And I'm like, I've been the best pitcher in this organization. I'm going to be a Hall of Famer. Maybe, as you said, maybe the best pitcher ever as a Dodger. And I was not any part of the on-field aspect of this. I love the fact that we won a World Series, but I think that put a burr in a saddle. I think that made him really want to come back this year and not only win another World Series, but be a big part of it. So then you look at what the Dodgers did in the offseason, you're like, well, hell, there's no room for Clayton Kershaw. So it's kind of poetic justice that all these injuries have happened. And now we're back to square one to where we really, really need Clayton Kershaw, which that's a situation that he relishes in.
Yeah, and he looks like, in case you and I have watched Dodgers forever, he looks like he's having a lot of fun.
He does.
Like, you could tell he's feeling, gosh, knock on wood, he looks healthy. He looks like where he needs to be right now for the Dodgers. He knows that they need him because the staff is decimated with injuries. So it's almost like, hey, I'm Clayton Kershaw. I know you guys need me. I'm going to go out there and pump in 6-7 innings. And he's been spectacular. I mean, he's been incredible. The St. Louis outing, this outing last night against San Francisco, man, it's been incredibly awesome to watch him pitch. And I love watching the guys that pump in there 99, 100, and they're just throwing it and then missiles are going in there, right? But Kershaw, you watch him and he's thinking every pitch, every batter. He takes that glove off the same way and rubs the baseball, wipes his beard. Like, gosh, it's so good to see. And it's fun as a Dodger fan to see old Clayton Kershaw. And I think that's what we're getting right now.
Go back to the Friday game. Justin Robleski, you've seen him so many different times in Oklahoma City. I saw him a million different times at OSU. I'll say this. I'm going to say point blank. That's the best version of Justin Robleski I have ever seen. This is a guy, he's very Clayton Kershaw-ish in the sense that you've seen it. He's always trying to change something or tweak something because he's never satisfied. He's like a perfectionist. He's never satisfied with where he's at. I'll say this, and I just hope he settles into this. He's found the best version of Justin Robleski. What he did Friday night is he can't be better than what he was Friday night. I hope he doesn't get bored with that and continue and try to tweak. Just say, hey, I found it. Now all I need to do is create consistency with what I found. If he does that, I think we have something in Justin Robleski.
Yeah, we don't need him to be the mad scientist every time, right? If you finally figure out the equation, keep going with it, right?
Yes.
I'm with you. I think it's got to be tough to be a Dodger pitcher. I think it's got to be tough, right? You get your chance in LA, you do well, and then you go back down, and then you come back up, and then you go back down. I would love to see him stay and settle into a role. Yes. And I don't know what that role might be, but you're right.
Reliever. I like the reliever role.
Yeah. I really like him. I've always liked him. It kills me when he doesn't throw well, but Friday was really good, and it was nice to see. And I hope he settles into that and we see him for a long time in a Dodger uniform and stay up here.
100%. Another thing that you have seen a lot, I've seen just as much as you have, is the challenge system. It works. Why in the hell do we not have the challenge system in Major League Baseball right now? The Dodgers had what there was like 9 runs put on the board or something like that over the last 3 or 4 days that wouldn't have been on the board. We had one again today. We had the grand slam the other night.
Yeah.
Why do we not have the challenge system right now? It's pissing me off. It works. This isn't like the first year with it in AAA either. This is the second, maybe third year with it. It works.
Yeah, exactly. It works. And, it's frustrating because it's quick in AAA.
Yes.
I mean, the challenge is they go here, it goes up on the board, we move on. Major League Baseball needs it. And today, I mean, okay, obviously my man Kike was pitching last night. He got squeezed quite a bit, right? I mean, okay.
You can't afford a tight strike zone, Coach.
Yeah. But CB Bruckner today, that dude's terrible.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just, I'm not arguing for the Dodgers. There was some pitches for the Giants today that it was like you're just shaking your head. And
yeah.
Steven Nelson, I think, is the best for the Dodgers when he's on the air. Like, he doesn't hold back. He's like, what the heck? CB Bruckner, the last few days, we need a challenge system. You're totally right. And you know what? I saw a little thing from Major League Baseball. Isn't that they're talking about it maybe next year that it's going to go into
Why?
play?
Put it in after the All-Star break. Screw it,
right.
Man. It works. It's been tested. It's tried and true.
Yeah.
Baseball is always slow to make adjustments. And that's a good thing because it's a traditionalist sport. So that's obviously not a terrible thing. But let's back up to Dustin May. Playoffs start tomorrow. Do you trust him to go with, say that the series is tied 2-2 in a best-of-5 series? Do you trust him as the starter, or do you want him coming out of the pen if he stays this version right here?
All right, I'm going to go out on the limb here. I love the dude. I'm going to say yes, I trust him because he's a competitor.
Right. Yeah.
He's going to battle. And you know what? I might get a lot of flack from the Dodger Daily fans here and the Dodger Dogs, and that's okay. I trust him because I like competitors, and I think he's a competitor. And I think you're going to get the best version of him in a scenario like that. And you know what? If he could allow 3 runs for whatever he went today, the Dodgers are going to win 5-3 in a playoff game. I just believe in the Dodgers bats enough. 3 runs, I'll take that. I'll take that.
That's exactly why I said on my social media post, last thing I said, I'll take this every day and I'll take it on Sunday. It's not perfect. We went to Alaska and back to get through 2 innings. There's no doubt about that. He's like that bull that you have to break every single inning, it seems like. But at the end of the day, I will take 6 innings, 3 runs, and let the offense go to work. So that brings you to Ben Kasparius. It's kind of crazy for guys like you and I who go to all of the Oklahoma City games, and we're like, people are like freaking out about Ben Kasparius being a starter and changing roles, and you and I's brains are like, our brains are going crazy because we're like, well, I don't know him in any other role other than starter, right?
Yeah,
so,
right.
I mean, it's kind of weird for us, isn't it?
Yeah, and you know what? He's going tomorrow, and to me, it's a big game. I mean, it's not even yet to the All-Star break, but these games are big because we're a 2-game lead, a 3-game lead on San Diego, and the West is really good. Like, as much as we want to say the Dodgers are going to run away with this, the West is really good. And with the trade that happened now for the Giants, you could say all that you want about, I don't know about the Giants lineman, and Devers is this drama guy, but that's a really good hitter.
Yeah.
Kershaw said it best, he's a top 10 hitter in baseball. The West is really good. The Padres are not going to give in. The Diamondbacks are really flipping good.
They're
Giants,
dangerous.
I think, are going to be there. But back to what you're saying, Ben going tomorrow, I love what I'm seeing because this is the role that he should be in. This is the role that I think he's eventually going to land in. And I hope he's been built up enough that we could get 4 or 5 innings out of him. And you know what? 2-3 runs, I think, is doable. And I love this guy. I mean, how good has he been? I mean, I don't know if he's going to be Rookie of the Year, but he's going to be in the talk for that. And his numbers look good, and I think this is the role that Dodger fans we're going to expect to see him in here in the near future.
So Fox Sports Major League Baseball, 12 minutes ago, Coach. Are you sitting down?
Uh-oh.
Fox Sports MLB, Shohei Ohtani could be making his Dodgers pitching debut this week, Dave Roberts announced. Wow. That's a bombshell. Shohei Ohtani will likely pitch for, this is from Dodgers Nation, likely pitch for the Dodgers for the first time this week versus the Padres. Is your mind blown here?
Yeah, now my heart's racing a little bit, and not for a good thing. Listen, I love the dude, but like my fear is like, is he ready? Obviously, he must be ready if this is what they're doing. I mean, it's okay. Are we willing? Are we so excited for him to pitch that we're willing to roll the dice to lose him for a little while? Knock on wood. I don't know. This is a tough one for me. There's part of me that says, "Wow, this is so exciting," because we need the help, and that gives you another arm. Then there's this part of me is, can't we just leave good enough alone as our DH?
Yeah. So let me ease your mind a little bit. The role he's going to be in is what's going to be either known as an opener. Okay. So the reason why opener needs to happen and not relief guy is that opener gives him like all the time before the game to get ready, to stretch, to play the long toss, to do all the gyros and gyrations. Whereas if he comes out of the pen, yeah, you get to warm up, but you don't get to do the long toss. I mean, if you did, it was like 2 hours ago. So this allows Ohtani to do all of the pregame stuff, roll right into his 1 inning, pitch only 1 inning, and then Ben Kasparius is what they call the piggyback guy that throws the 4 to 5, maybe 6 extended innings. So I think if you do see Ohtani, I think it's very intelligent if they make him the starter, what they call the opener, where they allow him to start the game to give him all the pregame rituals and routines to get him loose, but then only pitch him 1 inning to keep him safe. And then Ben Kasparius, who would have been the original starter, then he comes in and basically gives you a start after that, what they call piggyback. So I could easily see that happening tomorrow.
If you could convince me that it's going to be 1 inning, I'm okay. But boy, oh boy, I'm nervous now.
Yeah.
I'm nervous. I am nervous because it's exciting. All of the world is going to be watching this, but it's also I'm a little nervous. Mm-hmm. But okay, I'm going to go, Casey, with what you just said. It's going to be an opener. He's going to get to do all that stuff, and then we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to believe and trust in what you're saying, but I'm very nervous. I'm going to be one of the few Dodger fans. I'm very nervous about this.
So whenever you see a football team start running reverses and halfback passes, if you're the other team's coach, you immediately go, hey, these guys think they have to throw gimmicks at you. So they're desperate, okay? So the Dodgers, with all this pitching, we've heard Ohtani way later in the season. This is big-time breaking news.
Yeah.
Is there any part of your coach brain that makes you think the Dodgers are kind of desperate in the pitching situation right now, and this is a move somewhat out of desperation? Does your brain go there at all?
That was where I went immediately with this, like, why?
Yes. Yeah.
And it was interesting to hear Kershaw do his on-field interview with with ESPN and saying he's so spectacular. It's gonna be exciting to see him. Yeah, I think there's some desperation. Our pitching staff is decimated right now, but we're still 2 up on the Giants, 3 up on San Diego. I was hoping we could hang in there till after the All-Star break.
Yeah.
I hope it's not out of desperation. We got Emmett Sheehan ready to go, I think. You've got Ben Kasparius. I don't know, Casey. This is an odd one for me. I really did not see this one coming. I'm a little at a loss for words.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't either.
I don't know. I'm shaking my head on this. I thought it was going to be after the All-Star break, and here we are, and he could pitch this week.
Yeah. T-Town Clowns is sweet. That's Tulsa, by the way. The Tulsa Drillers.
Yeah,
that's some sweet drip, Coach. That's nice. So 25 to 30 pitches, but here's my problem. I do not want to see an up-down from Ohtani. When I say up-down, when he walks off that inning, off that mound for the first inning that he threw, he has to sit down. He has to cool down. His arm's going to cool down. Then he has to go back out and throw. So I'm not in favor of a pitch count. I'm in favor of saying, show you got 1 inning. We're not giving you an up-down. We're going to get you hot. We're going to get you loose. You're going to go pitch. And then as soon as you sit down, you are done. I would not be in favor whatsoever. Even if the pitch count's low, I would not be in favor of that up-down for that second inning. Not at all. That would make me very nervous.
You're very nervous. I'm incredibly nervous. I'm looking at this thing, and I'm just hoping he's ready. Obviously, he must be. I don't think the Dodgers are going to do anything, we might talk desperation. I don't think they're going to do anything out of desperation to jeopardize Shohei Ohtani. But this is surprising to me. And I would not want to see him in that second inning. I just don't want to see that now. And I don't know, how do the rules work? If he's pitching, we lose our DH, and he just is the –
He'll be the pitcher and the DH both. We do it in college, and they just now put it in high school a couple of years ago. But you'll be listed as pitcher DH. So when you leave the mound, you will continue to be the DH.
Okay.
And you'll be the DH for whoever comes into that spot. So that's how that'll work.
All right. Well, you know what? The whole world will be watching this one, Casey.
It will be.
So let's just hold our breath.
So how much of we saw that the Giants got better today getting Rafael Devers? It's like, okay, boys, Giants got Rafael Devers. Well, we just acquired an all-star pitcher in Shohei Ohtani. How much is that? Up in the Giants. Any of that? Any gamesmanship?
You know what? It's funny that happened right now that you say that. Is. Absolutely. All this, that's all. And it was driving me nuts. That's all ESPN wanted to talk about. The entire broadcast was about this trade. And all of a sudden, the Dodgers now say, okay, Shohei might be pitching this week, or he is going to be pitching this week. So, you know what, Giants? Go ahead, take Rafael Devers, and let's see how that works. Now, granted, Buster Posey's done a great job with this team. We did not expect the Giants to be at this spot. He has given some energy into this team. That's a phenomenal trade, I think, on paper. But, a little bit of gamemanship, right? Okay, so you're going to go Devers. We're going to throw out the greatest player in the world and Shohei Ohtani, and he might pitch this way. I kind of like it, right?
Take that, little brother, right? That kind of deal. Cracking the whip right there. I will say this. I love listening to Carl Ravitch talk about baseball. Eduardo Perez is awesome. David Cohn, I could listen to him talk baseball all day. The broadcast tonight was terrible. They were never on time with any of their calls. They were talking about, it was like, guys, this is not your normal Sunday night baseball game. This is the freaking Dodgers and Giants, and the division is tied. I don't need you to be having some sideshow and then getting in 7 seconds later and barely even mentioning that the Dodgers just made an out. Yeah. That frustrated it's like they were talking about everything except for the game tonight. Maybe that's just the coach in me or the baseball geek in me coming out, but that frustrated the hell out of me. It's like, guys, just call the damn game.
I'm sorry. I'm opposite of you. I don't like these guys. I like them as who they are. I mean, I like David Cohn as a pitcher, but I like what Apple TV does. And I had no idea this existed. You could actually listen to your team's radio broadcast, and it actually up.
MiLB app can do that too. Yeah.
I wish ESPN would do that, right? That would be amazing. But it felt weird. We had the U.S. Open went late, and then the Dodger game came on, and it just seemed like an odd broadcast tonight.
It did. It was off.
Yeah, it was off. I totally agree. It was totally off tonight. Something was amiss, and the trade threw them off completely.
I would totally agree with that. I just thought they hung on to too many sidebar topics instead of just calling the game. Which the sidebar topics are nice, but you don't need those with Dodgers and Giants. You need to call the action. So the Giants. I'll say this. You can disagree with me. Let's get into it. We do it all the time. We agree on a lot of things. We don't agree on a lot of things. But the great part about it is we always have a hell of a lot of fun talking about it, right, Coach Barricott?
Right.
So I'm going to say this point blank. I said it on the show Friday. This is a team with the Giants that has staying power because of the pitching. I come out of this thinking they're substantially not as good as I thought they were going to be. The version that they have out there right now, that they don't have Matt Chapman, they're getting Rafael Devers, so it could change very fast. But then again, it might not. Matt Chapman might come back off injury and not be good. Rafael Devers might be the diva he's been for the last year and a half and not fit in, and it might not work, just like Willie Adames didn't. But unless the Giants get substantially better than they are right now, and we didn't see Robbie Ray too, but they're just an okay team. They're nothing that I came away unimpressed with them. I'll put it that way.
Okay, I'll be the devil's advocate. I think Devers is going to finally feel comfortable, which scares me a little bit.
Yes.
You get a healthy Chapman back. That scares me a little bit. This bullpen is really good. There's something about them that kind of worry me. They seem like I hate the word grind. They're grinders. And I don't know if it's sustainable. You might be right. I mean, Devers might come in and might completely flop and too much pressure on him. I don't know. There's something odd about this team that they're going to be right there, and I hope they're not. I hope the Giants fall below the Rockies. I just don't like the Giants. Like, I don't like the Giants. I don't like the Padres, but Casey, I'm old school. Like, I can't stand the Giants.
Yeah.
The Padres, like, I like the Tatis and I like Machado and I like their guys. I don't
You like that
the
style,
Giants.
don't you?
Yeah, I don't like the Giants at all. I don't like their colors. I don't like their uniform. I don't like their ballpark. I don't like anything about them. So for me to say that there's something odd about them, they're grinding. Like, I could see them hanging around, but I would love to see them falter in late July, right? I'd love to see them falter.
So as a Dodgers fan, what scares you then? As far as the threat that they pose to the Dodgers? You're a diehard. You grew up in Whittier. What scares you?
The Giants always scare me. They're our rival. You know what I mean? Like, I just can't stand them, and just see them just hanging around like they're hanging around. I mean, we were tied for first place with them just not a couple days ago, right? They're 2 out. They seem like, like when we're watching a Dodger game, we're looking at the scores, and there you go. The Giants win. The Dodgers win. The Giants are right there. I mean, they won, 6, 7 one-run games?
Yeah.
I don't know. There's something about them right now that worry me, and I've been a Dodger fan. I say it all the time. This is 51 years. I don't like them being this close.
Yeah.
I'm okay if they want to falter. I really want to see them fall down that table.
Yeah, I just think they've beat a lot of bad teams. I think they have capitalized on a schedule full of bad teams, and not only have they capitalized on a schedule full of bad teams, they've barely beaten a lot of bad teams. We saw that with the Rockies. So all of that, hey, again, Matt Chapman comes in, you have to face Robbie Ray, which we didn't. Rafael Devers makes a difference, but I just think the Giants have a long way to go. So Andy Pages, let's get to your man, Andy Pages. He's simply fantastic. I want him to be in right field because I want Tommy Edman in center. I just think his throwing arm from right field is more accurate. I think it's more needed in right field. He's going to have more opportunities to use his arm in right field. Having said all that, dive in. Andy Pages is yours, Coach.
I love the fascination with the Dodger fans about his arm. Case, you and I have known about his arm since day one. The dude's got a cannon. I watched it live in Tulsa.
Yes.
Where my daughter and I, we felt like we could hear the threads of the baseball flying from the stands. The guy has a cannon, and it's funny that all of a sudden all these Dodger fans, he's got the greatest arm. But beginning of the season, I love to go back to this. You remember how many people want him down in the minor leagues? I will never forget some of the comments of these so-called social media guys. I'd rather have Chris Taylor out there than Andy Pages. Now everybody's like, he should be an all-star. He's an all-star. He's leading us. He's carrying us. You and I both know that this is what Pages was going to do once he settled in. The guy's, he's a great –
give him runway.
He's a great outfielder. He's got a rocket for an arm. He's learning how to play center fielder, and by goodness, he's gotten a lot better at it.
Yes.
And he's hitting the baseball. He hits. He's figuring it out. I don't think fans don't understand that you just don't go from AAA to Major League Baseball and all of a sudden just start killing the ball. It's a learning process. They start figuring you out, and once they figure you out, you got to figure out how to figure yourself back out. And he's done that. And it just makes me laugh. You and I talked about it, and we can go back a couple months if you want to relook at an episode. Yeah. Be patient with the dude.
Yes. The receipts are there.
And now it's funny to hear ESPN say he's a fan favorite.
Yeah,
right. This guy.
Yeah, it's almost like when you have your favorite restaurant and you don't want anybody to know about it because it's like a hole in the wall, and you're like, if everybody finds out about it, then everybody's going to come here and I'm not going to be able to get in. That was kind of Andy Pages. Like, okay, so now that everybody knows about it, it's like, well, yeah, it's kind of one of those deals, isn't it?
Yeah, and I just sat back and read the social media about how they hated this guy. We wanted him gone. And I just sat back and I'm thinking in my mind, if this dude just starts playing like Andy Pages, watch, all of a sudden they're going to flip on him. Now all of a sudden this guy's going to be a 15-year veteran and we can't lose him. And you and I saw this coming. Austin saw this coming. Dodger Daily saw this coming. I don't think there's a guy on Dodger Daily that talks on here that didn't think or believe in Andy Pages. So it's not just me. It's the whole Dodger Daily crew. But it's great to see, and it's great to even hear this talk. You know, I listened to the Dodgers radio broadcast before we went on, and I think it was David Vassay said, Andy, what do you think? You should be a consideration for an all-star thing. And Andy said, one thing at a time. Like,
yeah, no doubt.
Let's just hang on. I just want to keep winning. But I love that that's what's happening for him after the heat that he took from the fan base and social media. And I'm glad people were patient with him, and we're seeing the rewards of it now.
It's called making it to the other side. That's what you have to do as a rookie. You mentioned it. You come up, and then they make adjustments to you, then you start struggling. The ones that make it are the ones that make it to the other side. They make their adjustments and get to the other side. When it was the last year, I don't think it was last, or maybe earlier, I can't remember, but Andy Pajes was playing a game in Oklahoma City, and I think you were doing the pitch clock, and I was there. And in between innings, you turned around and you went, that dude can freaking hit balls on the outer half of the plate. I mean, if they throw him like on the outer half of the plate, he just absolutely hammers those pitches. And it's amazing to me, major league pitchers continue to throw Andy Pajes on the outer part of the plate, and he continues just to rake on that pitch. The pitch that he struggles with the most is the one in on his hands because he leans out over the plate. It amazes me that major league pitchers have not made that adjustment on him yet.
Yeah, and sometimes I think Andy buys in too much to the Dodger philosophy of taking pitches. You know, there's a couple times where he swings at the first pitch and he grounds into outs, but sometimes I think he lets pitches go that he could just really rip.
Or isn't aggressive enough, yeah.
Yeah, and I think he's trying to find that balance between what the Dodgers want in terms of hitting philosophy and what he can do, but yeah, I don't know. It's funny. Major League Pitching hasn't figured that out yet, and maybe they won't. But it's just I'm so happy to see what's happening with him right now. Again, my daughter and I, when he was traded, my daughter and I became a fan, and we've stuck with him. And it's been awesome to see. And it's exciting to see these guys that Case, that you follow, and they get here, they go through this adversity, they figure it out, and now look, everybody loves the guy. Everybody's his biggest fan, right?
Dalton Rushing, we're super excited about him. Are you worried about this? Where are you at on that situation?
No, he had a nice hit today. I think he's done a great job behind home plate. No, not worried at all. He's hitting 212, 213 or something, or 222, I think it was. No, Oral Hershiser said it best. There's nothing left for him to do at AAA.
No, that's exactly right.
I think
regardless of what happens in his major league experience, there's nothing left for him in AAA. Yes.
He's getting experience that we don't see on preparation with the pitchers. He's probably making every meeting. I think this is great. Dalton Rushing's going to be fine. If Dodger fans think otherwise, they're not following baseball. I'm going to just be blunt and say that they don't know baseball. Dalton Rushing's fine. He's done everything he could do at AAA. The valuable experience that he's getting, Casey, and you're a baseball coach, every single day being around these guys and planning for the game, that's invaluable, and you're not going to get that at AAA. And I don't want to hear these Dodger fans go, he'd get every day at bats. He doesn't need every day at bats right now. What he needs is the education that he's getting behind closed doors that we're not seeing. That's what he needs right now in his career.
They can give him live at bats at Dodger Stadium at 2:00 every single day.
Absolutely.
That's not against major leaguers. The Dodgers are not opposed to whoever might be rehabbing at the complex, bring him over to LA. Might be like a Blake Trinan or like it was Emin Sheehan at one point. They can get him every day at bats if they need, just to keep him sharp. There's no doubt about that. Yep. So Ha-Seong Kim, what should his role be? I here's how I put it to Austin. So make the defense that Michael Conforto should be in the lineup instead of Ha-Seong Kim. What's the defense? I mean, what role should Ha-Seong Kim have right now?
I'm going to be different. And I'll take a bashing for it. I don't really care. Yeah. I think the role is perfect right now.
Okay.
I think it's perfect. If you talked, I'll name drop here. One of my best friends, Izzy Metz, says the Comet is the best player in baseball. He thinks he should be in there every day. I like what he gives off the bench. Again, I'm probably the only guy in the world that likes Conforto out there in left field. He's a veteran of baseball. I think the more Ha-Seong Kim plays, I think it's great. His batting average is great, but that's not going to be sustainable if he plays every single day. That's just my opinion.
No, it's not. You saw him at AAA Oklahoma City. Yeah.
Yes. I like what they're doing with him. They're not throwing him out there in the fire. They're not throwing him out there. I think it's a great job for him. They rotate him in. I like him more at second than center field. I do not see him as a center fielder. I don't like his read on the ball. I just don't like his size as a center fielder. He's a middle infielder.
He's an infielder.
To me. So that's my argument. I have nothing to be substantial about it other than I like the role he has. And I think this is the role he's going to have right now this year. Unless Conforto gets hurt, he's not going to play every day. Conforto's still going to do what he's doing. Argue against me, that's great. I'm okay with that. And I know a lot of Dodger fans want to see this guy every single day. But that's where I'm at, Casey, on that.
Yeah, so Game 7 tomorrow, what's your lineup defensively? Who are you firing out there?
Game 7? Starting as a Game 7 in the World Series?
Take the pitching out of the equation. What 8 position players are you putting out there?
Well, I'm not putting Conforto in left, okay?
Oh, so you just said you like him out there.
I do. Not in the Game 7 of the World Series.
Okay. Oh, you don't like him that much. That's awesome, Coach.
Listen.
That's why I love you, Coach, man. You are not afraid to go there.
You could go Tio to left, right? Pages to right, Edmund in center. That means Kim at second, right?
Yeah. Hae-Sung Kim at second.
I would be okay with that. And I know that's probably everybody's like going, this dude is crazy because he just contradicted everything he said, right? But if we're going to Game 7,
yeah,
I'm not worried about Hae-Sung Kim hitting the ball at all.
Yeah, right.
That's not playing into it's his defensively at second base. He's been really good.
Yeah.
Rangy, if I saw
too.
him in the outfield, I would be like, oh, my goodness gracious, What are we doing? Because I'd rather see Kike out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that would be my absolute Game 7.
Yeah.
Game 7 where I'm not concerned about his hitting. Conforto as much as I like Conforto, which I'm probably, less than 1% of Dodger fans right now, he doesn't move the needle for me in left field.
Yeah.
I don't like him in left field in a Game 7 situation, but in a 162-game season, I'm okay with Conforto doing what he's doing.
So let me put a little pressure on you here on that same topic. If you're saying that the absolute best lineup the Dodgers have is with Hae-Sung Kim at second and Teo Hernandez in left because that's what you would go with in Game 7, then why would you not go with that right now and get the rookie in Hae-Sung Kim all of that experience going into the playoffs? Why would you just stick him in there late?
That's a great question. I was hoping you would never have asked that. There's something about, for me, with baseball in today's day and age. Now, if we were in the 80s or early 90s, my argument might be way different. But I just don't like Kim as an everyday guy right now.
Right now. Yeah, not yet.
Right now.
Yeah, good point.
And I could be totally wrong, and you could put all the statistics out there in the world right now. Now, if this was 1987, I would be like, we got to play this guy every day because it's a different day and age, and people look at it different. Like, we're willing for him to not hit. He's not going to hit 389. He's not a 389 Major League Baseball hitter. So, yeah, maybe it's hard to argue that Kim might not be. Kim's probably maybe one of our best guys in terms of defensively, right? And he's hitting the ball right now. I just don't see him as an everyday guy right now. And I know I'm probably going to get just smashed on the internet by Dodger Daily people, but that's just where I'm at.
Yeah, so kind of what I'm hearing is I think this is the future, but as of right now, I think it's a little bit too fast. And sometimes, as a coach, you know this, sometimes if you put too much on somebody's plate all at one time, it actually has negative effects. Is that what I'm hearing from you?
Yeah, I look at it from a basketball standpoint. Like, okay, I'm not a high school basketball coach, but if there's anybody out there listening, if you play a freshman, forget basketball, baseball too. If you have a really good freshman and you throw him into the varsity level, yes, there's going to be signs of really good things, but he's a freshman. He's still going to struggle. And my worry is if you play this guy every single day, the struggles are just going to keep adding up. And, like, where does he go from there? And I just don't want to see that yet. I like what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's found a role and he's good in that role. Why do we need to change that role? So, but I don't know. I'm probably going to get bashed for it, but I'm okay. That's why you have me on the show, because I can.
Yeah, no, man, the Dodgers dogs are the best crowd out there, no doubt about it. And man, I love talking ball with you because you do not hold back, and it's always a hell of a lot of fun. So yeah, it just not quite at this time. And two, also what I'm hearing, I know you well enough to hear this come out of your voice. You also don't trust Dodgers fans to turn on him if he does struggle for a couple weeks as an everyday player, which is terrible for a rookie.
They're going to turn on them. Like
Yes.
Dodgers fans, like we are what I should say. They are what we are. What we are. We are front runners with our rookies, our young guys. When they're doing well, we're all in. When they struggle, why are they up here? Why are we giving them this? They shouldn't be. It's the same thing with Rojas. I mean, the argument of him, why is he on the team? He's on the team because of his leadership. He's serviceable defensively. He's a capable player. He's a veteran. That's why he's on the team. I think Dodger fans just look at it they only want to see the statistical standpoints of this. They don't know what's going on in the dugout behind that. Like, remember when if you look back, Chris Taylor and Austin Barnes, we went through not a good stretch when those guys were let go. Like, that hit the Dodgers team hard. So that's where I'm saying, like, I fear that Ha-Seong Kim is going to play well, and then he's going to go through the stretch where he's not, and then it's going to be like, why are we playing this guy? Let's send him back down to AAA. He's not ready. Yeah, that's my only fear. I don't know. It's sad to say that, right?
And we don't have the history with him to know if he can get to the other side like we had with Andy Pages. We knew Andy Pages would get to the other side because we had seen him do that before. We have not seen that with Ha-Seong Kim. So I know you're not worried about Dalton Rushing, but, Coach, I mean, I'm not moving Will Smith from behind home plate. He's the best catcher in baseball. So, yeah, this role's fine for Dalton Rushing at the moment, okay? But next year, the year after that, it's going to be the exact same role because it's going to be the exact same players. So what is the future of Dalton Rushing? This is a real problem. I don't think the Dodgers have addressed this yet. I think you could ask everybody in the Dodgers organization, what's the future of Dalton? And they'd be like, we're just trying to play it day by day right now to give him the best experience tomorrow.
It's funny you brought that up because as I was watching the game today, I thought, would the Dodgers be willing to trade this high-end prospect? Because where is he going to be? Where is he going to go? So catcher's progression, they go to first base, right? What do we got left of Freddie? A couple more years on the contract? Is Freddie going to retire? As much as we love Freddie, he's a Southern California guy. Is Freddie, when his contract ends, does he go back and retire with Atlanta? I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. I don't know if they're true or not. Dalton Rushing. We saw him play left field in Oklahoma City. That is the only place my mind can go is that he goes to left field.
Never played third base. Never. Anywhere.
Not going to be a third baseman. And I don't even want to get into this thought of who do the Dodgers have in the system for third base, because I don't know if third base is our top position right now in our system. I think Dalton Rushing will be a left fielder. If you want to get down to my crazy thought, left field is where he goes. Because Conforto's on a 1-year deal?
Yeah.
Tio's going to be with us for a while. Pages is going to be with us for a while. The natural thought is he goes to left, correct? Mm-hmm. He's not going to go to first. Freddie's going to be here a few more years. He's not a middle infielder. Left field is where I see him going and then backing up Will on what he's doing. That's my thought.
Yeah.
That's my only thought.
Hey, I got to ask you. He's been struggling lately. Give me your honest evaluation of Alex Freeland. You saw him a lot, and you never sugarcoat these things. I sugarcoat them a lot more than you do with the prospects. You never do, but give us your honest take on Alex Freeland.
I've been watching a little. I've been trying to watch as much as I can. I mean, the time change here is kind of crazy. I'm now on West Coast time, so it's been different for me. I'm worried because that is the one position I think we're way better at with the younger guys than we are right now with Alex Freeland. I don't know. There's something about him. I've always been a fan. I like his athleticism. He looks like a prototypical Major League Baseball player. I don't like the struggles right now. I like the younger guys we have below him in the system. That's a great case. That's a great call. I don't see him right now in the future of the Dodgers at this very moment. I just don't see it. I think the Dodgers are prime. And
too much swing and miss, or what is it that's missing there, you think?
It's a great question.
Yeah. Hard to say.
Hard to say. There's just something. I just don't see him in the Dodger plans. I could see him being traded. He's a guy that's going to get traded. Yeah. I think our younger guys at that position are way better than this guy. Yeah. And I like Alex Freeland. I liked him when I saw him in Tulsa. I thought there was something special about him. I liked the way he moved as a baseball player, but I don't know. Yeah. I don't sugarcoat things. I just don't see him being up.
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
Yeah. It is so hard, going back to your point about prospects, it is so hard for a prospect to have continued success in the Dodgers system because the Dodgers fans are so relentless at wanting to win every single game. And if you go through that rookie patch, they just give you no room to breathe. Yeah. And so going back to Andy Pages, we knew he would make it through that. We're not exactly sure with Ha-Seong Kim. We knew Ben Kasparius would make it through that. We know Jack Dreyer will make it through that. I'm convinced Justin Robleski will make it through that, and I think we're seeing him make it through that right now. I think what you're hearing is Alex Freeland's going to hit one of those patches where he's swinging and missing a lot like he's done throughout his entire career, and when he does, and when that heat comes down on Alex from the Dodgers fans, which is real, and that weight just goes down on his shoulder, not convinced maybe that he can make it to the other side. Is that fair?
Yeah, and I'm going to be the different of the whole thing. I don't see Mookie leaving shortstop. I think he's been outstanding. Yeah. Sure, his throws are a little off, but he looks better and better every time I'm watching this guy. What are you going to? You're not going to move him in. What are you going to move, Fred? You're not going to move Mookie out of shortstop right now. The Dodgers are, as much as Dodger fans want to break down statistics on it, and I know, Case, you're not a big fan of this, but Mookie's staying at short. So where's Freeland going to go?
Third base.
I don't see him moving to third. You're not going to put him at second because that's where Kim's going to be. That's where he's eventually going to be. Kim is going to be a long-time second baseman for the Dodgers. You've got Mookie at short. I just don't see Freeland moving over to third. I just don't see it. And I don't know what the Dodgers are going to do with third base because Cody Host is not going to be there, right? I mean,
he's a free agent. He'll be gone after this year. He's going to be a free agent. Alex Freeland, I mean, and I have not paid attention to box scores. Has he been playing third base at all for OKC? Not as much lately, no, not as much.
That tells me everything I need to say right there.
Yeah.
Right?
So Tanner Scott, I mean, if you need an example of how ruthless Dodgers fans can be, which is great, I don't mean that in a negative way, and I'm the same way. It's a case called holding people accountable. You spend $1 billion, then we want $1 billion worth of performance.
Right.
That if you go out and you spend that money, that's the expectations, and rightfully so. So I don't mean that negatively whatsoever towards the fans. But I think Tanner Scott had a little bit of a hard time dealing with those expectations in Los Angeles and dealing with I can't have one bad outing around here without people wanting to fire my ass, right? I think it took him a minute to get used to that type of mentality. But I think he's made it to the other side. So your thoughts on Tanner Scott?
Again, I'm the wrong guy to ask because if you're a Dodger, I'm all in on you, right? I mean, I never was worried. And you could ask my brother Jeff and my friends. I never was worried about him. It's athletics. You're going to have moments. You cannot always be perfect every single time. You're going to go through stretches maybe where you're not feeling good. You're having things off the field. Like we don't know. Tanner Scott is looking like what we thought he was going to be. Dodger fans, please just relax. There's going to be ups and downs. He's not going to have 72 saves. It's just not going to be. He's going to throw pitches.
He's not going 72 for 72, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Yates gives up a home run today. And, it's like I could see Dodger fans going, oh, I told you. I mean, he's not. Why Dave put him in? But these guys are really good baseball players. And you're right. I think they probably had to see the expectations of being a Dodger is high because of the money that we've spent. The expectations are a World Series. And I totally understand Dodger fans feeling that way. But it's also athletics and they're human beings. Yes, they're getting paid more than, golly, we'll make in our lifetime, you and I, right?
Yeah.
But they're still human beings. And they're still going to have their moments of struggle. And I never was worried. It's easy for me to say that, but in case you know me, I'm never worried. So
yeah, right.
Dodgers could be down 22 games, and I still think they're going to win the division. But I just wasn't worried. Yeah, guys, we're not even at the All-Star break yet.
Talk to me in June.
Is this the guy the right contract? That's just not who I am. So sometimes I might be the wrong guy to ask those questions.
Talk to me in June, right?
Yeah.
Let me know what you think in June, it's June, and Tanner Scott's pitching well. The four lefties have been fantastic. Jack Dreyer, Alex Vesia, Anthony Bonda. I say fantastic. Alex Vesia and Bonda has been more as of late. Same with Tanner Scott. Jack Dreyer has been very good from the beginning. So the four lefties really have bailed the Dodgers out. Matter of fact, they've been good enough to allow Ben Kasparius to go to the pen, which means the Dodgers lose another right-hander. So you're getting Emmett Sheehan back. That will help, adding right-handers to that. We saw Shohei Ohtani's going to pitch tomorrow. Also ran the update on Kyle Hurt today to see how he's doing. And Kyle Hurt said that he's a month away. Here it is. The rehab, this is from Kyle Hurt. The rehab is going good. I'm in the middle of a bullpen progression. He has to throw 18 bullpens. He's thrown 10 so far. So he's about a month away from throwing to real hitters, and he's going to face live hitters after the All-Star break. Hope to return in mid-August. Is that doable to have Kyle? Can you just throw him back in, or does that eliminate Kyle Hurt for the entire season?
I'm going to eliminate him. I like Kyle Hurt, but I'm going to eliminate him. I don't think the Dodgers are going to run that risk. Let me bring up another thing. I don't know if you saw the tweet. Is Roki going to be done for the year?
Yes, Roki's done for the year, yeah.
Okay.
Likely.
So my question is for you, throwing it back to the host. Could a heavier baseball have anything to do with this arm? Or is this something that maybe he came in with?
He came in with it. There's no doubt.
But to be done for the year, is this a precautionary because of how young he is?
Nope, he came in with it. And I think so. You know how this goes, Coach. I mean, whenever you're stressed and you're traveling and you're tired, you put stress on your body that you don't normally do. So if something is already not perfect, then you have a chance of hurting it even worse. And I don't have any inside information, but I would bet $1 million. That's what happened to Roki Sasaki. He got thrown into the fire. He was nervous. He was traveling everywhere. His body didn't feel normal. And he had a something wrong with him that didn't feel good coming in, and it only exacerbated it. That's a big word. I don't know if two coaches can say that or not. Exacerbated. Yeah, I see you right there. Exacerbated it as he went on. So I think he came in with it. I think just the situation that he was thrown into made it worse, and so he stopped throwing. No timeline for resumption. I don't think he'll be back this year.
Yeah,
the Dodgers should be prepared not to get him back. I'll put it to you that way.
Yeah, Glasnow is throwing. Look like we're going to see him eventually, right?
Yes. Snell, Trinan's throwing.
Back to your original thing. I just don't see the Dodgers throwing Hurt in there unless it's an emergency, right? I just don't see that. I think the Dodgers are really hoping for Emmett Sheehan to look good and to give innings. The pitching case, this is a whole nother episode. I would love to sit here and ask you questions as me as the host. The Dodger pitching, 14, 15 guys on the injured list. This is something of concern. I know the Dodgers in the offseason wanted to figure this out, but here we are again. And it's concerning as a Dodger fan to constantly see Dodger pitchers going on the injured list, and you're constantly seeing, all right, so-and-so is being brought up. This isn't sustainable. I hope it gets fixed as the season goes along and it all works out when we get into the stretch run. But this is a scary time as a Dodger fan with this pitching, correct? Right? Should I be concerned about this?
I think the Dodgers are treading water well enough to get back to. I think in a bunch of ways this actually could be a blessing in disguise, because you're going to tread water till about the All-Star break. Then you're going to start getting all your guns back, and they're going to have a fresh arm on them. So instead of Tyler Glasnow wearing down like he did last year, he's just coming back at the end of the season. So if you can just make it to the All-Star break and tread water, if you can just keep your head above water until then, the Dodgers have a really good chance of running away with this. So I think all of that could be a blessing in disguise.
Yeah, I mean, that's how I'd like to look at it, but it's just, at the beginning of the year, this could have been the greatest pitching staff of all time if they stay healthy, and they didn't.
Yeah, right.
But you're right. I mean, if you're down towards the end and you've got a playoff series and you've got Glasnow, Snell, these guys all ready to go, and Yamamoto, Kirsch, that's a pretty tough ask for another team to have to beat those guys, right? Yeah. 4 times.
Yeah.
I see I see what you're saying, but I think as the Dodger fan sitting on this side, it's like, gosh, man, why just can't we be healthy? Why can't
no doubt.
we be? Why do we have to always go through this? And it concerns me about the bullpen throwing as many innings as they are. And I think that's where Dodger fans need to sit back sometimes and relax and say, they're going to go through their ups and downs. Banda and Vesey didn't look good there for a little while, and all of a sudden they're looking good again. But when you're being taxed like that, that's tough. That's tough.
Agree. Okay, let me kind of change tunes on you, and you can plead the fifth on this if you want. Jackson Ferris threw again today. Yeah. Coach, you and I have had this conversation I don't know how many different times. You have to wait until you see guys in AA. AA, you've seen it a million. You have the T-Town Clowns on. There is major league talent at the AA level. Now, they haven't been major leaguers yet because they're like 20, 21 years old. They haven't had the opportunity, but they have major league talent. So until you see a guy at the AA level and all the adjustments they had to make, yes, they're talented, they're treasure trove of tools, but chill it until you see how they do against that kind of talent. 7 runs again today for Jackson Ferris. Is this just a patch for him, or is this him hitting the wall, the AA wall?
I'm going to say both.
Okay.
And that's easy to say both, right? I'm sure people are like, give us your honesty. Like, I think it's both. The guy's talented, he's talented. But it's like Double A is still really good, talent. Right? Double A, and then you make the jump to Triple A. That's a big jump. Let's be patient. Let's see if he can work himself through this. The talent, and that's easy to say both, right? Let's just wait and see. If this happens for 5 more outings, then let's talk. But let's just see what happens here in the next few outings. See if he gets some adjustments. And you and I, we don't know what's going on. Is he working on something? Was he told you need to work on this? Don't worry about the numbers. I don't know. I don't know how it works. I'm not concerned just yet.
Yeah.
Ask me in 5 more outings. If this happens for 5 more outings, then I'm going to be concerned. But right now I'm not, because he's very talented, and the Dodgers think very highly of him. Everything that I've read.
Yeah. A couple more down the farm questions. Ryan Ward. He's the all-time home run leader in Bricktown era, all-time RBI leader. Does he deserve a cup of coffee to where at least the Dodgers can then DFA him and trade him somewhere else?
Trade him, send him to the A's, somebody like that. I just don't. He's not going to play for the Dodgers.
Yeah, right.
He's been spectacular for Oklahoma City. It seems like I've watched him forever.
Yeah,
he's a good player. Where's he going to be with the Dodgers? You're not going to bring him up.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
if they did, man, I'd be the first guy standing in my living room and clapping for that because wow, that would be so cool for him. I just don't see him with the Dodgers. I don't.
So stand in your living room and clap because our boy Jack Little made it. If you're not happy for Jack Little, you don't have a soul, man. This dude is minor league baseball, right? I mean, I see the smile on your face, Coach. Jack freaking Little, man.
Well, I like it too because even before I started coming on air with you, you guys were always talking about this guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is exciting to me. The second I see him out there on wherever he might make his outing, I'm going to be standing up clapping because this is what it's all about, and I'm excited, so excited because I followed him and I've listened to you and Austin and Tony, all you guys talked about him for so long, so this is awesome. Okay,
so it doesn't get any easier, Coach. You have 4 with the Padres.
Yeah.
So tell me what you have. Your concerns, your excitement levels, the things you're confident in. It looks like Shohei Ohtani's throwing tomorrow. Emma Sheehan will throw. Ben Casparius will get a start. Tell us where you're at going into this 4-game series with the Padres.
I hope the Dodgers don't do what they always like to do and give up this game right away in the first game and then battle back and win the next couple. Here's what I'd like to see. And I know this is going to sound crazy to some people. I'm okay if we take 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4. The Dodgers are not going to, as much as I like it, I don't think the Dodgers are going to sweep the Padres. The Padres are a really good team, right? 2 out of 4, 3 out of 4. Get out of there, get healthy, not tax the bullpen. And if we sweep them, I'll be even happier. But I think it's going to be a tough series. I like that it's at home. It's a home series. What are your thoughts on that? I just don't want to be unrealistic that we're going to go in and sweep these guys. I think it's going to be a really tough playoff atmosphere type series.
Yeah, it worries me. Of course, I feel a lot better about it with today's win and the last 2 wins because the Dodgers, if they would have went into this 4-game series, so going into yesterday, the division was tied with the Giants. If they'd have went in and lost yesterday and lost one of these last 2 and been tied with the division going into a 4-game series with the Padres, I'd have been real worried. But having a 2-game lead, I think that was huge to give you this buffer to where really, realistically, Dodgers fans won't like it, rightfully so, if we lose 2 of these and we split. But if you split, you're probably still 2 games up in the division, or at least 1. So, and you still have the lead, and you're going into the Nats, and then you're at the Rockies, at the Royals with a chance to make some hay, and then you're getting closer to the trade deadline.
You were given the schedule. I was looking at the schedule also.
Yeah.
You get through San Diego, you got Washington, Colorado, Kansas City, the White Sox, Houston, Milwaukee, San Francisco. I like where you're – this is a big series in that sense. That's why I'm saying, let's just win a couple games here. Let's just not lose in the standings, right?
Yeah,
that's where I'm looking at this thing. And then you've got Washington at home, then you go to Colorado, and you got to feel really good about going to Colorado from a hitting standpoint. Dodger fans aren't going to be happy if you drop a couple to San Diego. Dodger fans, I like where you're blood when you play San Diego nowadays. But it's going to be a tough series. The series in San Diego was playoff atmosphere. It was managed, I thought, by both guys as a playoff atmosphere type series. I'm excited because that's what we're going to see for the next couple of games. I think it's going to be an awesome series. Padres are talented, man. They've got some dudes.
They are.
They've got some dudes.
Okay, man, this has been a lot of fun. Final thoughts here before we get out of here.
Well, first of all, I'm glad to be back. You've given me some time. I moved to Portland.
Yeah.
Got a new job, new college
Congrats,
coaching.
Man.
Thank you. New assistant.
So tell us about your new job. Don't be shy.
So I'm a new assistant at University of Portland. We're in the WCC. The head coach, Shante Leggins, has been a long time. I actually coached him. So that just tells you I'm getting old. I moved. I love Portland. Went to a Portland Timbers game the other night. It's been good so far. By the way, the weather's incredible. Incredible. It's been
a little different politics.
70s. Huh?
Little different politics.
It's wild here in Portland.
In Oklahoma, yeah. You couldn't have exact opposites.
But no, things are good. I've been able to follow. I haven't missed a Dodger game yet. I've been able to listen to you and Tony and Casey and Austin, just breaking Dodger stuff down. But I'm excited about where we're at. We're 2 games up. We basically have a depleted pitching staff. Pajes is hitting, so all the rights in the world. And Kike looks like the best pitcher in baseball. Whatever. Go Dodgers. I'm pumped. Good to be back on.
All right, Coach. That's been a lot of fun. I appreciate all of your wonderful thoughts there. So for all you Dodgers dogs out there, we had a wonderful crowd tonight. Coach Barikoff always brings them out. You Dodgers dogs know that you are the best crowd out there. Not the biggest, we know that, but absolutely the best and smartest crowd, 100%. So until next time, which will be tomorrow night when Austin brings you his individual live show, I want to remind you that today is a great day to be a Dodger.